All right, so come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. Sunday. Got Sunday grid to hop into. It's going to be just fabulous. Reading through your comments this morning, I was having an espresso trying to come to after a very long evening with my cousins who came to visit from Heidelberg. And I didn't get to bed until wee hours of the morning. But made my way to the Czech Republic, stocked up on some wine and some other goodies, had a fabulous dinner just now, and now it's time to wind down with you. My name is Christopher, and I'm delighted that you're here to help me get this solved, one way or the other, right? So today, I just picked up a case of this. This is a Paul Maz 2023 Merlot, and the white light reveals such a deep ruby red and a gorgeous platinum halo up top. The nose just gives this, it's just a celebration, right, of the cassis, the things that you'd expect. Oaky, maybe a touch of vanilla in there. And this has a tannic bite. It has a lovely finish. It's somewhere on the bold mid-spectrum, and wow, it's making me think corned beef or salmon. I wonder if I could put those two together somehow on a plate. I don't know. Doesn't sound immediately appealing, but maybe a little bit of magic, right? Now, this is a fantastic little French wine. Probably in that 3.6 area, fully recommend it. Not going to be open to a lot of things, right? So maybe leave the chicken breast out of it, unless you wrap it in bacon. But you got to have some fats with this one, I think. At least that's just my taste. But yes, as my ultimate sign of approval, I will probably drink that whole bottle tonight. So, that said, let's hop into our grid. I have to tell you, the comments today were just wonderful. Thank you all so very much for that. The subscriber count keeps growing. Thank you for that. Thank you for committing to this relationship. Appreciate that more than you can possibly know. And just so everyone knows, the merch store will be open soon. I'm trying to work out accounts and whatnot, and trying to get all that set up and whatnot. But again, if you'll just send me an email, I'll send you just send me an address where I can physically mail you a decal from the channel. I would be more than happy to get those out there to everybody. It's a small way. I got one on my iPad here. I've got one on my train case that goes with my luggage whenever I'm traveling. It's just kind of a fun thing to have, right? And show some support. And it's absolutely free. Just shoot me an address where you want me to send it, and I'll get it in the mail to you. So today we have a Jacob Reed construction. Now, think I've seen his name before in here. Edited by Will Shorts, but this is called Numbers Game. Numbers Game. So let's hop into our grid and see what we got today. Hopefully we're going to have a great time with it. Okay, so don't mention it. Okay. All right. Government org that investigates accidents. Probably the National Transportation Safety Board. Those of us aviation enthusiasts, almost always waiting patiently for those reports to come through. Sheep's Peep. Let's see, 5 letters. Maybe a bleat. Well, you need to go immediately checking this, so. Spoken could be oral. All right. So, okay. Okay. So, is this like the calculator game? Gotta turn it upside down in my head, maybe. I see big sleigh boss. Okay. Big sleigh boss. I'm just gonna put in Santa Claus and see what happens. I have no idea, but you know what? It's fun. If we're playing the numbers game today, this is gonna be great. Cannabis variety contrasted with indica, and I do believe that would be sativa. How do I know? Because I know things. how can you not know these days? It's everywhere, right? I mean, it's crazy. So, a computing company whose logo has remained largely the same since it was introduced by Paul Rand in 1962 and the IBM. Some of those logos just don't really need changing. I mean, I used to design logos for a living. I still see a lot of my logos on products all over the place. But sometimes I think, probably time for a facelift, maybe a new look. But the people who buy logos from these business owners, corporate entities, they're like, you know how much money you charge me for that logo? We're keeping it for a while. I'm like, oh, good point. But still, it is a really cool thing to see that. I feel that's probably like an architect feels. You know, when I'm driving along and I see the name of a bank or something somewhere, or I'm reading about whatever in a magazine, and I see some logo that I designed back 30 years ago, still around. So it must be kind of like, being from, say, Seattle and designing a building that's going to be built in, say, Chicago or New York. And when you go to visit, whatever, you just happen to buy the building that you built. Kind of a fun thing. Headquarter. What do you think? This is maybe a lobe. Let's go with a lobe on this one. That'd be kind of fun. Attack as a castle. Perhaps we're going to storm. And bogus. Oh, we got a scam or a sham? Don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Bilbo's Zero? Or is this the One Ring? Seems like we're playing around in Tolkien country here. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Bush Sr. and Carter each had one. I guess this would be a term. So yeah, it could be that. So then a sham maybe for bogus. And we'll see. Kind of a crazy thing to just guess, but now I got to check Santa Claus and the One Ring. So brain tests for short would be EEGs, and then one's providing help around the house. House is capitalized, so I'm going to go with AIDS. Debussy's Clair de Lune. Clair de Lune. Beautiful piece, by the way. Tough customer for a wedding planner. Oh, probably bride something. I don't know. And I don't know is a perfectly good answer. Don't argue yourself to a hole. If you just don't know, you don't know. That's the best thing to do. Take my advice. Jazz singer Carmen. Would this be Carmen McRae? Perhaps, maybe. Courtyards could be Atria. Bear's counterpart on Wall Street once. I'm not going to put a bull in this big thing, so I'm going to go with Bear and Stearns. Stearns. That word gives me an unbelievably deep voice, like I should have been on Smooth Jazz 107.5, The Oasis, After Hours, with Christopher. Maybe I missed my calling. 6-pack component, thinking can. And maybe a moot point. Okay, and looks like the One Ring is working out for us. The One Ring is good. Word whose letters are aptly found from left to right in Scion, and that is clever. Let's go with a sun. Very cool. Like a lover's lips, perhaps. Maybe kissable. Kissable. Legos. Yummy Legos. Don't step on them at night, Dad. Italian diminutive subject. I'm going to go with in. And then emphatic words of denial could be so not true. Down for the count could be KO'd. And I got to be very careful not to fat finger something on a Sunday, because that can make hunting it down a real chore. How detectives might act, maybe on a lead. So rolls could be buns. What are they, rolls of steel? So this looks like an LMAO. Don't mention it. So maybe not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So with the LMAO, maybe we got an LOL. It becomes an LMAO when we got 3 of those laughy faces thingies. Jimmy Kimmel's Network is ABC. Nevertheless, that said, maybe? That said, I just want to say you're doing a great job around here. I really like you, the way you dress. You've got a positive energy. Everything's just fantastic about you. That said, and there comes the bomb, right? So how about we get an atta-girl in here, and our Santa Claus is working out. Sudden dose of reality could be a truth bomb. Love it. What a whistler whistles is a tune, perhaps. And so let's go here and see the source channel. This is CNN. Swiatek women's tennis. Isn't that like Iga or something? Got Poli Sci. I don't remember. I don't know. Food-centric broadcasts originating in South Korea. Reached a base horizontally. I don't know. Okay. So I've got Bee Gees Boogie. It is a difficult thing to look at something in these digital characters and try to look at them upside down at the same time because I can't turn the monitor, right? So I think Bee Gees Boogie, though, maybe Staying Alive. Floral, subject for Van Gogh, Monet, or O'Keeffe from The Beautiful Iris. Holder of valuable contributions in brief, perhaps individual retirement account. So reach to base horizontal. Okay, slid in. I was trying to work axes into this somehow. I was making it say, we got a cosine in here? No, stop. It wasn't that bad. I don't. I think that's Iga. I think. Well, if I'm wrong, that's the first place I'm going is to see what I got to do with that. Platform, PC platform of the 1980s. Looks like an MS-DOS. I remember playing with QDOS, and then I discovered Macintosh, and never again. Of service. Utile? Are we utile? Are we... Is this that mukbangs? I bet it is, and I have seen this. It's like an ASMR delight. If you've had a couple bottles of wine and you're just feeling pretty good, and you're like, oh yeah, you can either watch people clean carpets, which is kind of cool. That's always fun, right? You know, just sitting there 30 minutes watching someone clean a carpet, you know. It's like a black piece of cloth or something, like a piece of cardboard that they throw down. I'm like, what is that? And 30 minutes later, it's a freaking gorgeous Persian rug that's 400 years old. It's been on someone's back porch or something, right? And oh, wow. One way to play it would be by ear, and I do play by ear. I can read music, but I don't like to. 100 Acre Wood resident, how about Kenga? Broke bread, dined. Olga, yeah, we got Olga in there, one of the Chekhov sisters. Okay, good. And then we've got Google Log. All right, how about a search history? We got to spell it correctly, though, if we want to be successful in this little endeavor. Film excerpt, maybe a clip. Either of the 2 statues in front of the New York Public Library, and these would be El Lion. Rapper Kid. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? One of the Marx Brothers. Wow, okay. So we got Chico, which would be the one that fits here. Was it Harpo, Zeppo, Groucho? A lot of them. There's 5 or 6 of them, aren't there? I mean, I can't remember. There's a lot of them. Yikes. Oh, no. Or maybe, uh-oh. And if we're wrong, I'll need to check that too, because I don't remember Kid Cutie. And I think I've got to worry about potentially the ego here, but mukbang seems to work out. Interestingly enough, I hear there's a lot of people who like to watch the crossword. They like to watch Wind Down with Christopher and the New York Times Crossword for ASMR. Apparently there are people that literally just put the entire playlist together and sleep to me talking in their ear. I just can't imagine that. It's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think I'd want to listen to myself all night. Lucky lottery winners cry, I'm rich. Oh, hi, Rich. I'm Christopher. No. You don't understand. My name's Harry, but I'm actually rich. Well, you want to be friends? Honest to goodness, maybe real. We don't have an incredibly difficult grid today, but it's a fun one. This is a fun and engaging grid. I'm absolutely loving it. Sleazeball could be a creepo for show. Periods of absence from TV news, social platforms, etc. And I think this is when they're calling what, a media cleanse or a media fast. I don't have room for cleanse, so we'll go with fasts and see and check it immediately. Like the weather around a lighthouse, maybe. How about foggy? Goaded. Maybe egged on. You know, I studied linguistics, did a deep dive in linguistics in one of my postgraduate programs. And I'm telling you, this is one of those words I never studied the etymology of. Egged on. I need to make a note to do that because it just seems like such an odd thing to egg someone on. I got to figure that out. In reserve for now, maybe on ice or maybe on tap. We'll try ice first and see what we get. How to read the words written on this puzzle's 108 across. So I guess upside down, right? Upside down. Boy, you turn me. Half of a noted magic duo. I think we're going with pen. And so that's checking out for us nicely. Old sayings could be saws. And Tolkien character who dies as the gray, returns as the white, and that would be Gandalf. I think I might just watch I might start the Lord of the Rings trilogy again tonight. That might be something to do. That'll take me through the whole week, you know. I do love it. Yikes. How about a negad? Now let's see if we can get back on track. So baseball features could be seams. And let's sit over here, try to finish this up. So, blank Moriarty, novelist who wrote Big Little Lies. I think that's Leanne, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm asking. Shout a little louder for me. Boiling could be irate. Anatomical sac could be a cyst. So then we've got yada, yada, yada. High heels, so I'm going with stilettos. Yeah, and comedian Notaro, and I think that's Tig. Heart could be the gist of the matter. So we got ourselves an Etsy here. Very nice. So let's just go on down here and get this kind of cleaned up. Coming of age Pixar film of 2021, and I think that's Luca. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Gave a thumbs up could be maybe assented. So then we've got sinus specialist for short. I mean ENT, but back in the old days, they were otorhinolaryngologists. POTUS 34. And I do believe that would be Dwight D. Eisenhower. Splendid. Splendid. Yes, Smithers. Splendid. Good. So now what we've got... beers that might punnily have hop in their names. Okay. And then maybe cat condos, so IPAs and cat condos. That you gotta really love your cat to give them a condo. Adirondack chair part, yes, absolutely. And you can even see the evidence of sitting in an Adirondack chair all day long just by standing up. Line in an old Apple ads. I'm a Mac. I loved those. I'm an artist, right? And we've always used Macs and whatnot, especially in advertising and PR. I'm on a Mac. Well, I've got 4 Macintoshes right here in front of me. It's a Mac world, but it's kind of funny. Back then, it was almost a political statement. I mean, if you were a Mac user, you were different. You were, artsy, whatever. And if you were a PC guy, you probably had a business degree or something, So, you had your suits on their PCs, and you had the sandals on their Macs, right? The suits and the sandals, right? But now it seems like everybody's got them, everybody's got a Mac. Because, well, it's just a better computer, maybe. So Blank Tour, record-breaking music event of 2023-24, and that would be the Eras Tour. Would have liked to have seen that. Gait, faster than a walk, would be a trot. Ship shape, how about tidy? Tidy, indeed. So possible polling problem, the bias. Bumpy jumpers, how about toads? No, listen to me, you little toad. Okay, so root word, question mark. Lunacy, folly, style of writing, that's an F, that could be a font. Now we got folly, and this root word could be ole, very nice, got it. Okay, so gourmet mushroom type, how about immoral? Oh, well, we can't put that in there. Let's try this instead. So a Bolshoi shoe. I'm going with a ballet slipper. And Morales on the screen. But which one? Isai? Aaron? They're rising over time. Well, suffix with proverb. Oh, the old proverbial proverb. So maybe IL. And she is Ellis Bell. Wuthering Heights, maybe? Are we talking about Emily Bronte's pseudonym? I hope we are. It would be embarrassing if I put that big a production into it for nothing. So I'm going with Isai, and gosh, I haven't seen him since La Bamba, maybe. It was in that movie with Sean Penn, too. Was that Bad Boys? Can't remember. Well, that would tell me that C's are rising. Name shouted in a streetcar named Desire, Stella! Stella! Like some marriages, seating, and musical compositions. How about arranged? Junior and senior, maybe years. By the way, that said, say. How about say? Garment for one who's wearing a bra. A wire. Bra. Okay. Some kindergarten art supplies. So crayons will be too short. Let's go with Crayolas. Very nice. Upside down device. Yes, of course. Well, I always made the basic entries, like 80085, because I was a boy. So, calculator. The calculator. Steady stream. Maybe a flow? Head honcho could be the top banana. And yeah, probably going to be flow. Goes to the mat. Maybe wrestles. There we go. Okay, did you spell it correctly this time? I did. Thank you. What a hot dog might do, and that would be to maybe pants. And then some opinion pieces could be op-eds. So we've got married mujeres, maybe señoras. Cry after putting one's pencil down, done. In the army, it was time. Time. Just scream out time. List ending abbreviation et al. Okay, very nice. Now let's see. Shepherd's staff. A crook, maybe? I don't know. Evita in Evita, maybe Baron. So I'm going with a crook. And then see what we got. Tended to a Zen garden in a way, perhaps raked. Chew on the scenery. Emote. Humorous. Bombeck. Irma. Pitchfork feature, maybe a prong. Pitchfork feature, that be a bit of a tongue-tied and twisted, just an earthbound misfit eye kind of statement. The city where tourists take photos pretending to hold up its famous landmark. You know, I've been saying for years, that's one of the reasons I just don't want to go to Pisa. I couldn't handle seeing all these people standing here doing this, trying to pose like they're holding. I mean, you see them all the time, and they're in every European meme, it seems. There's a picture of people standing out there being all original, you know. There's like 1,000 people in front of this leaning tower, holding it up, and I'm just like, I couldn't do it. But like Jerry and I we go everywhere, right? And but like we went to Venice and spent like a week there. It was an incredibly long time, which I enjoyed tremendously. And then we went to Vienna. But everywhere we go that's like somewhat glamorous, right? You know, there are people, they got their tripods out, and their phones are on them and whatnot. They got their selfie sticks and stuff, and they're talking and they're doing all this stuff, right? You know, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. You know, whatever, right? I mean, whatever does it. I hope you go viral. Knock it out of the ballpark, right? You know, it's good stuff. So, riverbank material could be silt. Word with kitchen or angels. I mean, maybe hells. I think that's like, honestly, yeah, if people have the ability, the talent, you know, and they're just beautiful, or they have some feature, some sort of characteristic about them, some asset, you know, they got, jump on out there, get a selfie in front of the pizza and make a thing for yourself, make a case for it, right? You know, I think the one thing that we're gonna all be doing is, you know, watching others and listening to what their opinions are and finding those that we like and sticking around. Very interesting process these days. I'm going to move the rating up to a 3.6 or a 7. I'm liking this Paul Moss. That's a fine Merlot. Longtime Japanese camera brand. I'm going with a Pentax. I shoot a Rolleiflex myself, and I do love cameras, obviously. I've got a whole bunch of them. They're antiques and whatnot. I think they're really cool. But naysayer could be anti. But I do own a Pentax. In fact, there's one back there, right there. The one in the one next to the Minolta. Adult male deer. I think we're looking for a heart here, perhaps. And then Renaissance locale of the earliest 20th century, maybe Harlem. Harlem. I haven't been to New York yet, but I want to go, and I want to go see Harlem badly. Crew could be a team. All right. And Alan of Marriage Story. Oh my God. Alda. The guy was in more movies than The Marriage Story, right? I mean, what is it with The Marriage Story? I was like, The Seduction of Joe Tynum. I can think of The Four Seasons, same time next year. Even more recently, wasn't he like on Bridge of Spies or something? It's like, what's his name? Tom Hanks. I mean, he's done a lot of different movies. But he's rich and famous. He's also like, he's been around. He was born in the 30s or something. I mean, he's not old, but he's certainly been around for a while, a good 80 or 90 years. Page that points to other pages could be an index page, and so we've got Hillbilly's Booze. Moonshine. I tell you what, it looks to me, Jacob Reed, that you just had some fun with your calculator, and I'm loving it. This is a fantastic, fantastic grid. So, Moonshine, advance could be to loan, and show that didn't win 43 of its 54 Emmy nominations. I guess we're looking for Lost here. And 1 of 3 on the Mayflower, and oh wow, this is where we're at the moment of truth. Oh, I didn't actually finish that up there, did I? Tough spot for a teen could be a zit. Bridezilla, tough customer for a wedding planner. Clever. Clever. Very clever. Love it. I love this whole grid. This is a beautiful Sunday. Gorgeous. So 1 of 3 on the Mayflower amassed, and then oodles of would be many. So how did we do, Bob? What a relief that is. Whew. I hate it when it says that. So close. Grr. You know, kind of a thing. I'm like, oh, great. You're grrring me. I'm the one grrring you, right? But what a fantastic grid. So clever. So original. Beautifully well done, Jacob Reed. I need to read about you. I never read about the puzzle ahead of time because then it would take the fun out of it for me. But I always go to Rex Parker, right? I got to see what Rex has got to say after I solve, right? You know, I want to see what his opinion is. If you've ever been to Rex Parker's website, he's been around for decades, and it's an amazing resource. I mean, I was in Iraq, you know, in the early 2000s, and I'd get stuck on something, and I'd be digging around trying to figure out, you know, I'll go to Rex Parker, you know, I'm going to go to Rex Parker. And his real name is he's Professor Michael Sharp. He's got a PhD, I think, in medieval literature. But friendly fella. And I think he's subscribed to the channel here. But, I mean, I've known him for a long time. I would send him emails while I was in Iraq, you know. Like, hey, don't know me, but... And he's always been a super guy. So you haven't been to rexparker.com or whatever it is, right? Just Rex Parker. If you Google Rex Parker, you'll find his website. But he always does a rundown. And when he's not available to talk about the grid, he'll have one of his stand-ins do that for him. And he's got an army of those, which is what we'll bring up next. So until we meet back for the Monday grid, we'll go ahead and bring down our Bannière de Dieu. And I just want to say, if I'm looking for a small army myself of folks who feel like, you know, they wouldn't mind maybe recording a solving on occasion, right? You know, to open up the grid and solve it, or do their best. If it's not possible to solve a grid, something's just a little bit too tough or too out of the range for an individual, then to show us, you know, maybe on video how you would go about researching it, what you would Google to get to it, etc., and so on and so forth. But there are occasions when I'm just not able to get to the grid, like last Sunday. I mean, I got wrapped up trying to get some things done around here that I had to get done. And there was just no way. It was going to be a 13, 14-hour day regardless, and there was no time to take the 2 hours that it takes to do a grid, edit, upload, all that. So if you've got an interest in possibly being on the standby list, right, you know, I would love to chat with you. My email is in the description below. Just shoot me an email. Or you can send me a direct message or whatever. Instagram, I think the address is down there as well. You can always leave a comment here, but probably better to email. That way, it's just our conversation. And don't forget to, like I had brought up before, if you want a wind down decal, be happy to get one out to you. So how do we do, Bob? I still don't quite know where that phrase came from, but it just kind of stuck. Don't know who Bob is, but he's always letting us know how we did. So, but if you have an interest in doing that, right, you know, you wouldn't mind, you know, being a stand-in, you know, it would just be shot at your house and you would do the puzzle, you know, try to keep it alive. I mean, I imagine, right, you know, I'm not trying to get people to recreate what I have here. This is mine. You would just do you, right, you know, but nevertheless, if you have an interest at all whatsoever, you don't have to be a master solver. You can be like me, just kind of a normal guy that just does the puzzle. That's cool. So just shoot me a note and let me know. But I've got to get a few people up and ready to go because at some point I'm going to be back on a cruise ship or something somewhere around here. And there was no way for that entire week that I could upload anything. There was just not enough bandwidth. And so it would just be nice if I had some standbys. And so just give me a shout. Let me know if you have any interest in that. And in the meantime, until we see you tomorrow for the Monday grid, just be nice to one another, right? Because we could all use that, really. It's just kind of crazy. Everything's crazy right now. So be kind to one another. Be nice to the strangers behind you in line. Do a little bit here and there. Pay it forward, however you want to, term that up, right? But we will see you on the morrow. Until then, be well and be happy. Be safe. Be kind. Cheers.